Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Good to see you back. Just a couple quick injury updates. Still no Derek or Alvin today. As far as practice goes, same thing with Eric and Lucas. It doesn't look like Eric, and I mentioned Lucas the other day. Is probably going to miss extended time. Looks like Eric's going to be out as well this week. Everybody else on there, all the injury guys. Looks like Nathan Shepard will be. He was out there today. He's coming. He's trending in the right direction. Same thing with MVS. He looks like he's trending in the right direction as well. And then, we're still taking it day to day with Chris Olave naturally with his situation. So that's kind of where we are from an injury standpoint. And again, looking forward to the opportunity. Short week, you got to get refocused. Kind of put that one, learn from that one, put that one behind us, and move forward because it's going to be here quickly, and before we know it. So with that,
what?
Can you just kind of watch the schedule this week? It was a little bit different, obviously.
Yeah.
How is it different? And how's it kind of?
Yeah, in a ways, we're kind of treating it like a little bit like a Thursday night game, if you will, because we got back early, however you want to say it, late early on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. I'm going to get my holidays mixed up. And so, obviously we have to have a player's day off. I just felt like some guys came in here and got a lift and treatment and all that stuff on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day was the day off. And then today was kind of a Wednesday install. Tomorrow will be a Thursday install. Saturday will be a combination Friday, Saturday. So from an install standpoint, we really just miss our situational stuff that we usually get on a Saturday. So it's kind of we're going to cram Friday and Saturday into kind of a joint deal. That's usually what we do when we play a Thursday game. So it's very, very similar to that short week. Traveling back, obviously, late at night and all that mixed in with the holiday. Just felt like that was the right thing to do.
You mentioned on Tuesday that the goal would be to get Derek out there and he came out.
Yeah, his grip strength gets a little bit better every day. It's improving. I know I sound like a broken record when I come in here and talk about him. It's really the same deal. It's just it's a gradual improvement. The biggest thing would be able to see if we can on Friday or Saturday get him simulate what a game would look like. If that can happen, then great. We can get him out there. Spencer took all the reps today with the ones. He'll start. The game. If Derek's unable to, which right now is looking like the situation, but hopefully we'll see where Derek's at the next couple of days. It is he's still working his tail off to get back. Same thing with Alvin. Both those guys really have the mindset of they'd like to play again in these last couple of weeks. So I appreciate and respect that. So that's kind of where they're at.
Rizzi, what's been Alvin's progress? Is he pretty much still where he was last week, or?
Yeah, no, he actually, I saw him today doing his rehab this morning. He was in really good spirits. It's going to be a matter of, I don't know, on this short week if we have a realistic shot, but I think he's got a very realistic shot for the following week.
Bringing an injured starter back with the opportunity to look at some younger players, do you have to treat each case differently, or do you have like a blanket rule if this is the case, the starter goes?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just use Alvin and Derek as examples. I mean, those guys have been pretty adamant about, trying to work their way back and play again this season. I think they've earned that right, quite frankly, with their leadership. They're both captains. And so, we'll see what happens with them. I think it is a case-by-case basis. I think I mentioned a bunch of times with Derek, like if we feel like at any point that we're putting him in harm's way, we feel like it could get worse or he can't function at a high level, then at that point it doesn't make any sense to me or him or anybody. But at the same time, if both those guys can get back and they both want to play, and I respect the heck out of the fact that they both want to play, then we'll do that. But I think it all depends on as you mentioned, kind of an individual basis. If you got a guy like Eric McCoy, for example, who could he maybe gut it out here, maybe get back, and that's in that situation, that's really not going to be the case. I think Eric and Lucas are going to miss these next couple of games. So it's really, take it as they come, case by case.
So Eric.
All right. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all for being in the live, man. Shout out to the fans. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. I appreciate y'all for being in the Thursday. I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday, man. Christmas, Hanukkah, however you did, whatever it is to you. Hope you guys had a fantastic time, man. Listen, this like we go into what Rizzi was saying about some of the stuff. How you guys feel about this? Eric McCoy, Lucas Patrick shut down for the rest of the season. Derek Carr trying to fight back. And I know why Derek Carr wants to play. He wants to get an opportunity to get against his former team. The only thing is, I would caution, and I know he wants to play, but I would caution against that. And he talked about the health situation. And just to keep it all the way funky and 1,000% real with you guys about the situation dealing with Derek Carr, health is the last thing this team think about when they talk about Derek Carr. I mean, like what we seen last year when he was supposed to have broken ribs and toe up, and they were just shooting him. And he literally described that at the end of the year. I talked about it during the year because I know what they do. But he spoke about it in length and even showed and gestured on the podcast. We played it on the show about him getting shots here, and he got shot here, and then he got shot over here and shot it like 4 shots in his back for him to play. That's not safe. What part of that's safe? But in the end, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to force his way back so he can play against the Raiders and beat the Raiders. That means a lot to him. I would caution against it. I mean, this could cost some money, especially if those Raiders are motivated to knock him on his ass. And I'm going to be honest with you. The Saints offensive line is like having security provided to you by toddlers. These guys can't block to save nothing, to save the life of their quarterback. I mean, the last couple of games, when we had all the starters back, I was terribly disappointed with this line, even so much to the point where I'm promoting. We overhauled this thing. We really seriously have to look at this line, and I'm not kidding. I know about Tolly and Penning. These are young offensive linemen. They're going to learn, but there's no excuse for Caesar Salad Ruiz, for how he's been playing. There's no excuse how McCoy was playing prior to him getting hurt again. And we have to start really looking at seriously what we need to do about this line, because you see repetitive injuries to players over and over again. I mean, they can't be counted on. So at some point, you got to start really looking at that thing, you see. But I would caution Carr to go behind that line, man. I wouldn't want him to do that, because he have a fractured left wrist. And if he gets popped on his ass and knocked on his ass and all this kind of stuff, it can aggravate that injury, because cause problems in the off season when he's supposed to take that physical. So you don't want to get cracked up, broken up, smacked up in every other way, playing behind this sieve of an offensive line or sieve or whatever they call, because that's not an offensive line. It is offensive to watch for me. It is definitely offensive for us to watch, but there's nothing there. If you got an injured quarterback that's in and out of lineup who wants to stand behind there and do anything, I would caution against that. But in terms of Elvin Kamara, he needs 50 yards. I can see what he's trying to do. It means a lot for him to get 1,000 yards this year. Unfortunate he had the issue with the groin. He wants to come back and play. You heard what Coach Rizzi said. It's a good chance that he does. Once again, I don't know if he even get the 50 yards based on how the Saints offensive line look. I mean, maybe he does. I don't know, man. The line is just so trash. It's ridiculous. And that was prior to the injuries mountain. They don't have any heart. They don't play with any courage. And more importantly, they don't play with any intelligence. That's just what it is, man. These guys, they look unprepared. So anyway, let's finish up with Rizzi. Then we'll hit the injury report and talk more about what we got to do in terms of that. And I also have another article to go over with coaches and stuff like that there. I also realized that Slick Mickey, who usually does his little interviews, wasn't present to do an interview. I guess he kind of called it in because of the stuff there with Christmas.
Done for the next 2
I don't see Eric coming back right now. I don't see that happening. I'm gonna sit here and, as I mentioned to you guys, right now it's non-surgical. So it looks like we avoided that part of it. So you're never going to rule anybody completely out, but it's going to probably be a stretch, to be honest.
Milano to get him back on the field. Is there something kind of?
Yeah, so we're giving him a little bit more every day. It's a little bit of a challenge this week because we're doing a lot of walkthrough tempo with the short week. So we'll do a little bit tomorrow where we kind of amp it up and get some speed going. So that's the one day this week where he can, as I mentioned last week, he's got to get back to the cardio thing as well. He feels really good. He's in great spirits. I just had another good conversation with him today about everything. He's kind of chomping at the bit a little bit, but at the same time, no different than the other guys. Just want to be smart with that. So, we can also simulate different things with him. We may bring him out tomorrow or Saturday and kind of run some routes at a different tempo than everybody else. Just kind of some routes on air to get his cardio back, things like that. But he's in a good place at the moment.
How difficult is it to shift the mindset of trying to make the playoffs and then just trying to get into playing to compete to get other guys' opportunities?
Listen, when that is still out there in front of you, like it's been for us up till this week, when the possibility of the postseason is still out there, it's still definitely a motivating factor. I'm not going to sit up here and BS you guys about that. No different than the players. And then when that gets taken away from you, listen, it's a goal every year. One of the goals is you come into the season, wanting to make the tournament, wanting to make the postseason. And so when that goal gets kind of, when you're unable to reach that, it's certainly a letdown. At the same time, you guys have asked me before about last game or practice today or anything like that. You wouldn't have any idea coming out to practice today, watching our guys work and compete, that we were any different than any other week this year. So, listen, is it disappointing? Yeah, naturally it's disappointing.
Stop the cap.
But the guys have handled that, I think well. I know some people look at last week's score and say, oh, well, that must have been a reason they didn't, they got eliminated the day before and all that. That really wasn't the reason for that score.
Explain.
So, I still saw a really good effort from a lot of guys, and I expect the same thing this Sunday.
With that being said,
See that face right there? That's the bullshit face that I be describing. When he does this stupid pucker face thing, this puffy face thing, this pucker thing, this is the bullshit face right here. He does this when only when he says some BS, he does this face gesture. Just behavior recognition. Just watching the dude since he been here. When he says some BS, he does this pucker face thing, just to let y'all know. He does this thing every time he says some BS. He's talking about something to be proud of. Ain't nothing to be proud about a blanking. You going up there and get your ass kicked. You got kicked and you got embarrassed. There's nothing to be proud about. Even the players that had decent outings wouldn't claim any of that because it don't make any sense to claim that your side played like something and the team still lost badly. Nobody claims that. Nobody claims that. That is not a good effort at all. And it had been several days since the film, and you still saying the same thing with this bullshit pucker face. It's some sucker shit. That's why we need people that can keep it real, because as long as you or placating to whatever agenda you're running with or whatever bullshit you're saying, we can address the issue at hand. As long as you pretending like it's not there, we can't address it. This is not how we solve problems. And the Saints have a lot of problems, man. They got a lot of problems. They got problems everywhere. And it usually start on top and then it filters throughout the team. So when we sit up here trying to tell us, oh, it don't look as bad as it look, bullshit. How 34-0 in primetime television, where the entire America, all of America seeing the Saints get they you know what's kicked. Ain't nothing good about that. Then he stand up here with this bullshit pucker face that he does when he spews out some nonsense. So in the end, man, like I said, this is a special teams coach who just is being an interim coach, and you can understand why he will remain a special teams coach, to be honest with you, because you can't do that. You have to address what it is. You have to tell the truth so we can get to the bottom of it. That's the only way we're going to solve some stuff for real, because we have issues that need to be solved, and we can't play around like they don't exist. And that's what he doing. And I don't like it. I don't like it
Sunday,
at all.
last home game in the Dome. What's the importance of putting on your best performance there?
Yeah, listen, I just said when we broke the team down on the field, it's been a while since we've played a complete game, all three phases kind of in sync, everybody playing their peak performance. So, for our last game at home, that'd be a great opportunity for us to do that. All three, regardless of who's playing, all three phases working together, playing in sync, playing complementary football. And it is our last. Our fans deserve to our fans have been great. I got to be honest with you, really, since
You're damn right.
Since I've taken over, the fan support has been phenomenal.
Always.
For me individually and our team. And it's always nice when you're playing at home to give back to the fans and give them one last, something good to watch and something good to look at, some exciting football, no doubt.
The situation being what it is, and the kicker
There go that face
on the
again.
practice squad, Charlie Smith,
Yeah.
is it a situation where maybe you consider getting him a shot at an NFL game, maybe over the final 2 weeks? And obviously, it's not going to be an easy proposition to get him live reps under normal circumstances.
Yeah, I don't think Charlie's any different than every single guy in the practice squad. We have conversations daily about everybody and who do we want to see maybe get some work in these games, and who's up and available. We got obviously have some moving parts with injuries, and you can only elevate so many guys per week. You're only allowed to have 2 standard elevations from the practice squad, so it requires getting a guy to the 53. I think in a perfect world, you'd have all these guys you're able to elevate maybe at times, but there are restrictions roster-wise. There's only so many guys you can do that with. But listen, I think Blake Ruby's had a really good year. In fairness to him and in fairness to his professionalism has been unbelievable, and so no knock on Charlie whatsoever, but I think Charlie's time is down the road.
With the international program, he doesn't count to the regular practice squad limit because he's part of the international program.
That is accurate. He counts on the practice squad, but if you have an international player, you get 1 additional. So instead of having 16, we have 17 because we have an international player. That's correct.
He was elevated at some point. It's probably kind of an esoteric rule, but could he still be an extra guy on the practice squad if he went back that way?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, it doesn't. You could still elevate that international player. You just have the ability to have the extra international player. So instead of having 53 and 16, you have 53 and 17. So essentially, you have 70 guys in the building. It's just an advantageous thing for the international players. So there's a number of teams throughout the league that have that guy. There's been some other teams that have actually elevated that player. The Giants come to mind. I think they had a kicker earlier in the year when a guy got hurt that they elevated their international guy. The rules don't. The only rule that's different is that you just have an additional guy in the practice squad. The elevation rules are still the same.
forthright about your career ambitions and acknowledging that this is in some way an audition. So how do you hope people who would be evaluating you would view
Spit it out, man.
wins and losses in the circumstance that you're in? Would you hope that there'd be more the visual of the product oriented than the actual record, or what do you?
I think like anybody, you want to be evaluated on the complete body of work, no different than the players. Unfortunately, when there's wins and losses, no one ever asks about the circumstances. So there's wins and losses. That's what they are when you're a coach, and that's when they are when you're a team, right? As the old saying goes, your record is what your record is, and you are what your record is. And listen, I think that When people look at, since I've taken over, I would hope that everybody would just take into account the full body of work. I think there's a lot of things we're doing really, really well, and there's certainly things we got to improve on, like every football team. But it certainly goes into more than just the wins and losses. I understand the question, and so I think that we put our best foot forward here every day, and I think that that's been proven so far. But I'm just really worried about this Sunday. So.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna keep it all the way. I'm good. We'll take it. I'll be all the way good with it. I'm good. I've seen enough. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. And the next guy that takes over this team needs to be somebody that's gonna be a force in all aspects of the game. He doesn't have that temperament. He doesn't have that ability. He's the coach right now. And it's just certain things he could have did that he just don't do. Even when you saying, and listen, he's saying this and he believes this, whatever. All I speak about and care about are the results. Now, when they say this, is you can also, when you put those words out, you can say you can judge them by the words, which is fair. But also, my thing is, I like to see the effort. And you saying they putting their best foot forward. I don't believe that. I don't see that. You mean to tell me what we seen against the Green Bay Packers is the Saints putting their best foot forward? Really? Or how about what we seen in half of the game against the Washington Commanders? Or how about what we seen in the New York Giants game when they beat them barely? Do we believe that they're putting their best foot forward? I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I just don't see what he's saying. Even today with the interview, he's talking about, all this kind of stuff from the Green Bay game. All I can do with the Green Bay game is burn the tape on it. That's what I want to do with the Green Bay game, burn the tape on it. Them people didn't show up to play. They didn't get off the plane. They didn't show up to play. They could not do anything. Offensively speaking, the defense tried to do something, but once again, you're judging them as a team, correct? All three aspects. And the number one aspect that we needed to shake some ass didn't do anything. They didn't do a damn thing. But yet they did do one thing. They collected the direct deposit payment after the game. I know they did that. And they spending that very happily, despite the fact that they should have gave it back because they didn't earn it. But I guess that's being too real when you tell them guys, hey, man, you didn't show up to play. Get that goddamn money back. You didn't earn that. That would be considered. What I seen happen in the Green Bay game with the Saints offense was what I would call stealing. They didn't show up. You didn't earn that shit. And yes, you're right. The support base of the New Orleans Saints has been beyond kind, beyond trusting, beyond loving and supportive, well beyond. To the point where it has hurt the team, because now they're in territory where we can abuse these dogs. They just gonna keep doing what they're gonna do. They're not gonna stop. Whatever we give them, they're gonna just take it. No, we're not doing that, and that's why we challenge these guys on this bullshit here. I'm gonna stand up here and just say anything, and we can watch the same film you watch it, Playboy. We watch the same shit you watch. We know what we looking at, and we break it down. No, what you saying do not match the film. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm like, with body of work, who that nation? We straight on Rizzi. We good on you, Playboy. We appreciate what you're doing. And as soon as the season over with, made the special teams room find you very healthy. Let's send your ass back to the special teams room. May the special teams room find you nice, safe, and warm. That's right. We're gonna get UPS and ship your ass back to the special teams from here. Now we need somebody special to run this team to get them out of the 4-game losing streak of 9 playoff trips and all of the excuse making. We don't need nobody playing in the excuse. We need somebody that's gonna stand up there and hold guys accountable and tell it like it is. Even if guys have failed and didn't do what they're supposed to do, I want my coach to call these guys out. I don't care. They deserve to get called out if they don't do what they're supposed to do. They'll tell you that. I'm not saying nothing that they won't back up. They will tell you that. And if they don't tell you that, I don't want the dude on this team. I don't want him on our team. We don't need guys like that. We need people who gonna own it, man. Own everything. Own your mistakes. Own them. All right, in this one, here go the injury report for tonight, man. 9 Saints players listed on the Thursday injury report. Week 17 against the Raiders. This is going to be in the Dome. We're going to have the preview of that tomorrow. The Saints, Derek Carr, left hand issue, DNP'd Thursday. You heard Coach Rizzi said. More than likely, it DNP'd. He said they're going to try something for Friday. We're probably going to see something change Friday and even Saturday. And I just don't think it'll be a good idea for Derek Carr to play against the Raiders with that bad offensive line there. It's not going to be a good look. But he hell-bent against playing against him, so, whatever. Alvin Kamara, of course, he mentioned Alvin Kamara with the groin DNP'd. Chances are he doesn't play in this game, but Rizzi did say if he doesn't play in this game, fam, he definitely going to play in the season finale against the Buccaneers. Alvin wants to get that 1,000 yards on the rush. He got right up to it. Would have had it in the Commanders game. That was a game if they would have played a full quarter offensive line wise, he would have had that. But AK-41, man, well, then again, he got that catch when he stretched out there, and that kind of got him hurt. So he wants to get back for a few, get that 50-plus yards and be able to – it's 50 yards, so he can get that 1,000 on the season. That means a lot to him. Lucas Patrick, Eric McCoy shut down. Elbow and knee issue they done for the year. Jawan Johnson's limited with a foot. Nate Shepard missed last week's game. He went from fully practiced Wednesday to limited with an eye issue. Watch out for that. Peyton Turner was limited with an ankle. MBS was limited as well. He had the chest issue. He was a last-minute scratch for the last game. They're saying he's supposed to be in this matchup. And then Chris Olave was fully practiced from his head issue as well. So we'll see what happened with Chris Olave in this matchup. Will he be good to go? Will they activate him for this game, or maybe then the final with 2 games remaining in the year? He might want to get in there and get loose. We'll see. And of course, on the side with the Raiders, linebacker Malga, who is limited with a calf issue. Both guards, Meredith and Powers Jordan, have their own issues. Meredith was DNP with an ankle, while Powers Jordan is limited with a quadricep ankle issue. Running back Dylan Laub has an illness. He was DNP'd, and defensive end Clavion Chasen has a foot issue, and he fully practiced. So that's a guy that can get after you. But small injury report for the Raiders. Like we're saying, Raiders, one of the worst teams in the NFL. And we'll see what happens coming up on Sunday. So it'll be interesting. All right, let's kick over to this, man, and we'll get ready to kind of, if y'all got any questions, please throw them in the chat as well as we get ready. I'm going right up until about 7 o'clock for the cutoff, as we got the Pels and the Rockets playing tonight. We'll be checking that matchup out. Then following that, it'll be Pelican Postgame Report on the PPR channel on YouTube. This is one right here for the fam to kind of look at. This is an article. Saints, Adam Schefter names 2 coaching candidates. And this is something I wanted to cover a day or so ago, where he kind of mentioned that lost in all the speculation as to the next coach of the team, like the Jets, Bears, even the Giants and Jaguars might be hiring as the next head coach, is the fact that the Saints have to find a coach too. Appearing on Monday Night Football, Adam Schefter gave an update on the Saints' ongoing coaching search, which began with the firing of Dennis Allen. So let me play this for y'all. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this, man.
There is talent on this team. On the defensive side, for sure, they have some offensive weapons. They're banged up on that side of the ball. This offseason, coaching search, what do you think happens here, Adam?
Well, a big offseason for the New Orleans Saints, who were eliminated in the playoffs from the playoffs yesterday, Scott. And they're going to heat up their coaching search towards the end of this season. One of the candidates expected to be square on their radar will be the Lions defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, who's coached in New Orleans, has a history with the franchise. The organization knows him well. I also would expect that the organization would have some level of interest in the former Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, and of course, there will be other names. And whoever takes over as the coach in New Orleans will have a major quarterback question. But right now, because this team is so strapped against the cap, Derek
That's
Carr
making
is in
Loomis.
line to be back next year. They don't have a lot of flexibility. He makes the most sense, and it certainly looks like he could be back next season, even though he is inactive tonight, and Spencer Rattler will be starting at quarterback for him. And, of course, there are the questions for this season with Alvin Kamara, who is also inactive tonight, and there still is a chance he could come back later this season. He's about 50 yards shy of his first 1,000-yard season, and even though they have been eliminated, he would like to come back and play, and this team is all in on this game tonight. Just this weekend, the quarterbacks coach had the quarterbacks in a freezer in the team's cafeteria, taking snaps, going through play calls, treating the elements like they would be encountering tonight. So this team is already gearing up for this big night in Green Bay, but it is also a huge offseason ahead for the Saints.
Yeah, and the quarterback issue that Adam Schefter alluded to, situation in terms of what's going on with the caps, the restriction of the cap, that's Mickey Loomis, the situation dealing with Derek Carr's contract situations because they reworked the contract because they needed money so they can be able to be a player, the science of players and free agency to compete. That was also Mickey Loomis along with Dennis Allen. That kind of grasp Derek Carr into this year, which is a limiting factor. Like you have a lot of open jobs that'll be showing out. Like we just showed a couple of them. And Aaron Glenn always liked Coach Glenn. But the thing is, we'll see how it all goes there. I like Coach Glenn more than Mike Vrabel, to be honest with you. But still, in all, I like to see the rest of the coaches, offensive coaches that that could be looked at as well. I would prefer an offensive-minded coach for obvious reasons. I don't think defense. I would like to have a tough offense, and then we can, do our, build our defense or whatnot. But I really want to get our offense going, man. Our offense has not been as consistent as we like them to be, and it's been a struggle factor. Like for the last couple of years, the offense has been up and down and all around the defense. If I was to poll the Who Dat Nation, they probably would tell me that defense has been way more responsible than the offense. The defense has been way more responsible than our offense. Our offense in some games didn't show up. Like the last game, they didn't show up, even though the defense actually did make a few stops here or there, but they can't. What are they supposed to do when they out there for 40 minutes at a time, or 35, 40 minutes at a time, because the offense can't move the ball? I prefer an offensive-minded coach, but these are just two names bannered about right now, was Aaron Glenn and Mike Vrabel. So we'll see exactly where it goes. As Glenn actually has ties to the Saints, as we know from in 08, previously serving as the team's defensive coordinator from 2016 to 2020, but ultimately followed Dan Campbell to Detroit in 21. And while his defenses aren't exactly elite, his schemes complement the offense nicely. Vrabel led the Titans to 3 straight playoff appearances from 2019 to 2020, going 54-45 in 6 years at the helm. Both men rank among the top targets as the head coaching candidates this offseason, and are widely expected to get multiple interviews, right? And then Mike, and about Mike Vrabel, he does have that championship pedigree, being with having those championships as a really good linebacker for the Patriots all those years, being connected to that Patriot successful Bill Belichick style energy. Well, she didn't work well. It didn't work as well as he wanted to in Titans. There were some other situations surrounding why it didn't work, but most of these guys could definitely use a change of venue. All right, it's reached the point where it could be a downright shocking if Vrabel didn't get a head coaching job, though the league's trends towards offensive-minded coaches could force Glenn to wait a while longer for his next promotion. New Orleans find themselves at a bit of a crossroads as a franchise now. While they have Derek Carr as their quarterback, most believe that his best years are behind him, and the team will need to start developing their long-term answer at the position. The Saints have not used the first-round pick on the quarterback since Archie Manning, all way back in 1971, but would only have the 10th pick if the draft started today. Whoever gets the Saints job might not be able to get their top QB pick right off the back. So, you look at some of the stuff that you see that's going on. with it, and that's a part of the restrictive nature of what's happening with the Saints coaching job, right? The coaches that want to be here, that you don't walk through the door like some guys, um, are rumored to be wanting some of these other coaching jobs because the situation is set up for a new coach to come in and just correct a few errors, fortify the QB position. Like you're looking at Chicago, who got a quarterback, whoever's coming in there got to get him together, kind of establish the offensive line, that kind of thing, bring whatever scheme you're going to do, bring accountability, see if you can win in that tough division. But as far as the Saints are concerned, Saints have issues monetarily speaking. They're $60 million in the red currently. And we'll see where the cap jumps when the league year is over with, and see exactly where, if the cap would eat up some of that money, maybe let's say if we're fortunate, it'll knock off 20 million of it and you still be 40 million in the red, which would then require you to then go and rework contracts. You still got people like Ryan Ramczyk on this team. The Saints have to figure out what to do with these guys. And even though, like I'm saying, that's some of the stuff that we got to deal with. Like you got and then, like I said, a good coach has to fight a lot here because, who's hiring the coach? Because even if we talk about Coach Glenn, we talk about Coach Vrabel, we talk about Coach Ben, what's the man from the Detroit Lions? What's his name? Johnson. Ben Johnson. Even if you talk about guys like that, you also, who's hiring the guy? You see what I'm saying? The Saints is not just the coach, is what I'm saying. Whoever hires the coach is the guy. You got to watch out for that guy. And that guy is Mickey Loomis. So you have to have, before you start looking at these coaches, you got to have a change in that Saints hierarchy. You cannot have guys that don't know about football, but supposed to be overseers of other guys that supposed to know about football. You get what I'm saying? And I highlighted this on the previous show when I showed you that Dennis Lauscher doesn't know the football stuff, as Don DeSacier calls it. We know you don't know all about the football stuff. That means that whatever's on the field, the stuff, the evaluating, understanding what you as a football mind supposed to know so that you can hold your VP, general manager guy accountable. That this banana republic that the Saints are, because that's what they are, because only one dude running the team and she's just listening to him. You can't have two dudes, or two people rather, which is Gale and Lauscher, on top as bosses of Mickey Loomis and not doing any accountability because they don't know how to be accountable for what he's doing. You can't have that. You've got to have somebody above him that knows about football, that holds him accountable. You get what I'm saying? That's all kind of ways messed up. That makes no sense at all. And you have to change that. You're not going to get around that. Because I don't believe in Mickey Loomis. I don't trust Mickey Loomis. I think Mickey Loomis is an idiot. I think he's a moron. I think he's thin-skinned, and he can't stand up to questioning it. If you're the manager, the general manager, you're supposed to be the architect of this team. You're supposed to be able to answer these questions. And he's too thin-skinned. It's time for him to go. He's been here for 20-something odd years. His moves have basically destroyed and backpedaled the Saints into obscurity. 4 years of playoff funk, and now they done fell on their ass to the point where these people sitting up here 5-10, man. This never was sure to happen at all. But you got him sitting up here chewing gum and being braggadocious or whatever the hell he was talking about when I showed on the show. Always some arrogant shit, but never to be found right now while the team's thinking. Gonna run off. Can't face the fire, man. You want that? That's a leader? That's not a leader, man. You face the fire. You created this. I didn't create this bullshit. You did. So I challenge you on it, and I challenge the Saints organization. They're built wrong. Dennis Lauscher should not be the team president. Let him change his title to president of business, marketing, or stuff like that, and then create another president title that is the person that knows football, like a real football president, not some guy that you gave the title to because you like him. What kind of foolishness is this? Because you sitting up there want to make money because the guy making money, he using the Saints brand and name to create deals. and making money. These people putting their name. Them people do not own that practice facility down there. They don't own it. They don't own that shit. That was built by taxpayer dollars, but they put Oshina logos and bullshit all over the building and collect money off of it. They do the same thing to the dome. They don't own the dome, you do as a taxpayer, but they put symbolage and bullshit all around it and get paid off of it. How you doing that? In a team 5-10. The Pelicans are 5-25. Man, enough of this, man. Enough of this. You can't, we not playing with you dumb mother boy I'm not playing with you people on this. This ain't hard to tell. Y'all playing ignorant, man. We're gonna have to show you because this shit ain't hard to figure out. This ain't no genius level shit, man. This is light work, man. All this is light work. Y'all playing games, man. Time for people to wake up and put your pocketbook away, put your wallet away, and stop swiping for these people, man. These people have been using that old Super Bowl for 10 plus years to milk the Who Dat Nation, the most loyal and dedicated support base in the entire planet. They've been milking us for years on that one damn Super Bowl that they won 10 plus years ago. For 10 plus years ago, they've been milking us on this bullshit, getting arena deals and Superdome deals and $200 million here and $500 million there to renovate and put concession stands all up in the dome and holes in the roof for lights to come in there so they can make more money, and the team sitting up here falling through the floor. And then they sit up here pretending like that. Mickey and Loomis can't allow to get out of this shit about this excuse making that they like to be doing. This all has to change, man. Enough is enough. And it's not going to work unless you restructure the top of the organization, add more football people to the team. Make a new president position with a real football person there, not some dude that don't know the football stuff. Come on, man. That's a joke. And that's a laugh and a half, man. That means that guy cannot check Mickey Loomis on his bullshit. And that's why Mickey Loomis is walking around acting like that. He knows that guy don't know shit. He knows that she don't know shit. So he's sitting there, oh, they're over relying on me. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. I'm the mighty. I head big as and swole as the dome itself. Can't tell him nothing. He playing Kanye West shit back in the day. You can't tell me nothing. Hold on, I'm the man. Crazy. So at the end of the day, like I'm saying, man, all this has to change, man. This has to change for us to have success, man. Everything else is bullshit and patchwork. We need somebody that's going to come here and tell it like it is and do what's need to be done. Keep these guys accountable. That's why you see the offensive line looking like that. That's why you see all this other foolishness going on, because it is indicative of what's happening at the top of the team is filtering down through here, because all they care about is money down there. That's all they care about. If they really gave a damn about those injuries, they'll spend millions of dollars finding and hiring the best medical people that they can find. That's how you get ahead of it. They got teams that's having issues, but they hit the Saints and the Pelicans harder because of the medical staffs. There is levels to this shit. If you really serious, go out there and find and spend money and find the best medical doctors you can find and watch the results that you get. You get what you pay for. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, that's the bottom line on the Saints, man. And that's real spill there. Anything other than that is window dressing, man. It's window dressing. You cannot talk about change without talking about changing Dennis Lauscher from being the president, because he don't know shit about football on the field, and he can't be a accountable manager for Mickey Loomis, who he's supposed to be his boss. Mickey Loomis does not need two positions. He doesn't need VP and GM. Strip him of the GM title and place Kai there. That would be a start. And allow Kai to design the team or make the team into what he sees it as going forward into the future, and not Mickey Loomis sitting up there ego tripping, holding two jobs. Don't talk to no players. Told you that he doesn't do evaluations during the season, and we sit up here wondering why they 5-9, man, 5-10 or whatever. Man, we already know. I've been telling you about this dude, man. I've been telling y'all about this clown. No real change will happen with the Saints until they change that effed up leadership they got there. And that's on Gail. It's on Gail to understand this is not complicated, Gail. Gail, this is not complicated. Just like you fired that rotten possum to the chagrin of this idiot here talking about, hold on, don't fire him. To the chagrin of that idiot who was trying to hold on to this bum. Man, come on. Man, come on. This shit's not hard, man. It's not hard, man. Knock it off. All right, Red Eye shout out says draft Genty and get Fields from the Steelers. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get fucked too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. It's change got to happen at the top levels, man. For real stuff to happen. The Saints sitting up here, it's a laughing stock, man. These people, this is not. It's not even supposed to happen here. This is operating from an emotional energy. None of this is logical. None of this make any sense. How could you have a president of football operations that don't know but nothing about football on the field? Do you not understand how much of a dumbass joke that is? A bad one at that. And a guy that's way over his head in terms of how the current NFL works in vision roles. And Mickey Loomis, the most closed-minded, thin-skinned dinosaur that you ever seen in your life. Trying to run a team and talking about building a team. This dude been doing it for 20 years and totally out of touch. He don't talk to no players. You can't be the general manager of a pro football team if you don't engage and talk to the players. You can't. That's how he didn't know the temperature of the team when it was losing all those games. That's why I was asking y'all, where was he at when the Saints was losing 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 games? Where was he at? Where was he at when that was happening? Where was Dennis Lauscher at when all that was happening? Where were they at? Where were they at? And it took the people reaching a favor pitch for them to run this dude out of here. Man, this shit is not hard, man. These people care only about making money, and you got to make them pay. It's up to you. They greedy, and they're not going to stop unless you stop them. That's the truth. And this happened. I had some dude jump in and say, well, if you do that, they're going to do this, that, and the third. Them people ain't going nowhere. They tied to us with contracts, man. Understand what kind of game this is. They're not going to lose a move from you. They got it too good here. They're not going nowhere, and they supposed to do that. If we push against you and say, hey, man, listen, you going to win. If you're going to get all this, you going to win. And they get buck on that, man, take that shit and get out of here, man. Go ahead. Because that's what you're supposed to do. I shouldn't have to threaten you by pulling my money back for you to put a good product on the field. Think about what I'm saying, man. Just don't take anything anybody give you is what I'm saying at the end of the day, peoples. A lot of y'all understand that, but some people don't. Don't take anything anybody give you. Make them earn it. Make them earn it. Do you deserve that? You deserve better than a funky, stanky, dumb, underplanned, excuse-making ass team that when the season over with, gonna stand up there and blame everything on injuries, even though they know as one of the cardinal rules in NFL that you're never supposed to use injuries as an excuse at any time. They know that. Even the players will tell you that. But they'll tell you that. So at the end of the day, man, that's what we need to do. We need to start at the top and let's see what they do. Because Mickey Loomis shouldn't be the one making decisions to hire no coach when he the one that created all of this. Where is his punishment for that? So he can just screw up the team, tear the cap up, and not be punished for that? That's what you're telling me? Huh? That's the same thing with Griffin over there with the Pelicans. You mean to tell me he can tear up the team and not be accountable and not face any discipline for what he did? What kind of world we trying to what kind of stuff we setting up here? If guys can screw up and make errors and not face punishment for it, what kind of world this is, huh? What kind of world this is? What we allowing here? If that's the case, what we doing here? If the guy was 1,000% wrong with all that cocky bullshit he was talking during the year, team fell through the floor, nowhere to be found, running like the coward that he is, because he's definitely a coward. But anyway, let me get a few things for y'all, then we're going to get ready to leave out of here, because ain't no change unless it's change at the top, man. That's how it got to be. You ain't going to put no coach there and say, well, we're going to about to win it now, man. Get out of here with that. You reason why we tied the cars because of him. The money screwed up for the next 3 years because of him. He has to face punishment for that. He has to pay for that. He can't be allowed to just keep moving and screwing up without facing punishment. He has to be chastised for that. You get what I'm saying? That's when accountability comes in. If you don't do what you're supposed to be doing accountably, you're supposed to be chastised or disciplined for that. If you're not disciplining these players and they out here screwing up, dropping passes, throwing interceptions, or whatever the case may be, if you're not chastising them or disciplining them for that, then there is no accountability. Like we seen Chase Young drop an interception. Chase Young was on the sideline doing push-ups. Why don't see Carr doing that? When Carr throws an interception, get your ass over there and do 20 push-ups. Go ahead, get your ass over there. You fumble that ball, I want 25 push-ups. Something simple like that. You see what I'm saying? Something simple. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to pay some kind of way. You don't just walk off and shake your head and go, oh, well. No. Get your ass over there. Let's get these push-ups going. Start something small like that, but just something to create an accountable atmosphere. You get what I'm saying? At least something. And not just you do something, you shake your head and then go on to the next thing. Get the hell out of here with that. We had enough. It's too much, man. And it's simple. This is light work. None of this is complicated. All right. Yeah, Rendell says, well, damn, oof, I didn't know the higher-ups didn't know anything about football. Saints in serious trouble. That's the case. They ain't going nowhere for a long time. The president of football operations, I played it on, what was it, the day before yesterday, the Christmas Eve special. Dennis Lauschu's the president of both the Saints and the Pelicans, doesn't know about football on the field or basketball on the court. He's strictly a businessman. If you got a toothpaste or a tire or whatever you got and you want to make it the official whatever of the New Orleans Saints, that's who you go and talk to. That's it. He talk about all the other stuff, but when it comes down to football, he relies on Mickey Loomis. Oh, that's why you got a cocky, gum-chewing, fake employee elitist ass big-headed Mickey Loomis running around there, because he obviously, his personality and whatever he's built of can't handle a role where people count on you like that. Just how he talks to report. The simple thing to do, the lazy thing to do. Who talks like that? And they asking them questions about his team failing, but he gets mad at them for asking about what's this here? Where they do that at? So like I said, man, I calls it as I see it. And we're not going to get better as an organization and as a team unless we still doing this patchwork bullshit. It's time to do it right. Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscher needs to be chastised. They need to be removed from these positions that they have. They need to be reset in the organization if you're going to keep them. You need new high IQ football people in that organization. You need that. So, all right, Cartel says, Q, don't expect to look clean with the 20. You heard me? You get what you pay for. Exactly, man. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make the moves while you got the chance. You're talking about, we're going to go out here and hire the guy. Hold on. Wasn't you the one that hired Dennis Allen? Wasn't you that guy talking about Dennis Allen is a good coach and he's ready for the job and all this? Wasn't you that same guy? Well, yeah, I was. Well, everybody makes a mistake, right? No. That was too large of a mistake, man. You cost us years, and we was telling you that. And the first year after, this guy's not who you think he is. And that idiot sit up there and didn't see it. Didn't tell him nothing and let the team fall through the floor for years, and even tried to protect him after he was on the 7-game losing streak and Gale fired him. And we're going to trust this buffoon to go out and pick the right coach? That dude is so stupid, he'll go out there and pick another Dennis Allen. That's how stupid this guy is, man. This guy is out of his mind, man. Not holding back on that. Hemisphere says, Q, if we don't see Miss B instead of Mickey, that's all you need to know. Yeah, we gonna see how it all go, man, because, yeah, I heard about the Houston Rockets, dude. If you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, sell a damn team. Sell them. You're not going to sit up here and bank out off us. The game is over with. The scam is up. You're not going to sit up here and bank off of us. You know, we're not going to put good money after a bad product anymore. We're not doing it no more. We gave you the benefit of the doubt and you burned us. You humiliated us. You put this bullshit product out here that we've been talking about for years, trying to get it right. And finally, when the team started falling through the floor and we talk about what we need to do, Oh, well, unless we're gonna do this, but ain't you're the one that screwed it up, man. No, you're not gonna make it with that. No, we're not gonna let you make it. You screwed it up. You need to face discipline for that. You need to come with the. We need to face discipline for that. You can't just keep screwing up and then nobody check you on it, man. The bubblegum bandit is solely responsible for the current state of the team. He shouldn't have any role going forward. He is no confidence, zero confidence in Mickey Loomis. Saints, Gale, Lauscha. There's zero confidence in Mickey Loomis because how poorly he handled the Dennis Allen debacle. He handled it extremely poorly, cocky, arrogant, gum chewing, stanky, elitist, thin skinned, fake bastard. He handled it poorly. We lost all kind of respect for the dude because of how he handled, how he was talking to the reporters, how he was talking to the support base, all that. Dude, no. Foul Full Coast says, Q, what do you think about McCarthy? A lot of his fall off is being Dallas. I think he could be cooked too. I don't know about McCarthy, bro. I mean, in terms of his resume, he got a really nice resume, but I don't know about McCarthy. I don't know, bro. And yeah, you're right. Dallas is Jerry Jones is a different creature there. Him and his son and all these people, they really running the team. And he was kind of handicapping his moves that he wanted to make. So I understand that to a point that was going on. So it is what it is, right? But I don't, excuse me, I don't know about McCarthy, my brother. We're going to have to wait and see on that. Yeah, I don't know if they haven't said anything about releasing him. I thought they was going to keep him. The word on the street was they wasn't going to get rid of McCarthy. They like McCarthy because they can manipulate him. Because Jerry Jones he wants to still be the runner of the team, even though he the owner. He wants the credit for everything. It's like the reverse here. Like our owner, she just want to make money. They want to make money. But in order to do that, put the right people in place because you can make the money. We're not mad at you for trying to make the money. We ain't mad at that. It's just the product is bad. And you can't sell Mickey Loomis to the Saints, the Who Dat Nation no more. They're not going to go for that. They're not going to believe Mickey Loomis. They're not. We're not going for that. We're not believing in no dumb Mickey Loomis, man. He the one that tore up the team. Now we supposed to believe he got the answer after all these years of dumbly, stupidly, and ignorantly going for it and saying Dennis Allen is a good coach. I played it yesterday. He sounds stupid as hell. I said it aged perfectly because it showed how blind he was. The dude don't have no, absolutely not. Pelicans Nola says last 5 years, Saints first and second round draft picks have not produced. So whoever's doing the scouting needs to be fired. Jeff Ireland's system is getting stale. The only thing the Saints are hitting on are undrafted talent. If you think about it, that's underpinning the team. But just to keep it all the way funky, which this is a state of what's going on with the team right now. The status report of the Saints is simple. It's the fact that the Saints not hitting on the draft picks like talking about, but they are hitting on the undrafted guys. And the undrafted guys are underpinning the team. They are. You got undrafted punter, you got an undrafted kicker that are starters, you got undrafted defensive end and Carl Granderson who's starting. You got undrafted players all on the team, safeties and everybody. You know, wide receivers, this type of stuff. You got undrafted guys all over the team that's underpinning the team. That's cheap labor, cheaper players than these other guys, and they're outperforming the draft pick guys. That's the truth. The undrafted guys are outperforming the drafted guys. They are. And that is what's underpinning the Saints. And that's the one thing they're consistently hitting on is the undrafted talent, because they have a reputation around league circles as if I'm a good undrafted player, I fell through the cracks. Man, listen, if I go to the Saints, chances are I might be able to get on there. It might even be in there, eventually work my way up into a starter position. They have that kind of reputation. But outside of that, the Saints not really hitting on a lot. They're up and down on their free agent signings. They're up and down on their draft picks. But the undrafted guys, they're hitting on that aspect, which is 1 out of 3, which would explain why the Saints are 5-10 or whatever the hell he is right now. What are they right now? I forgot, man. It's so I done totally wiped it out of my mind how ridiculous this all is. Brother Devon says Carr should have been on a playoff or bust contract, and we should have got a coach that wasn't in-house. Yeah, and the thing is too, Derek Carr has shown that if you push Derek Carr, he's a better quarterback. Derek Carr is a quarterback. This is spill, and I've often talked about this. Derek Carr, if you push him, you get better. That's what Coach Chucky did. That's why those numbers were through the roof when he was with Coach Chucky those years. He got his best numbers there because you cannot coddle him. You cannot do what Dennis Allen did and what this other dude Rizzi doing. You don't coddle this guy. You got to push him like Coach Chucky did. And he even said that, man, you need somebody to push this guy to get the best out of him. We don't need no placating ass people that's being soft with him. No, we need tough people to push all of these guys, honestly, all of them. Because, right, the overall mentality of the Saints offense is pathetic. They're soft. They're soft, especially if you see how they get pushed. They got pushed around by the Giants. They got pushed on defensive line. We're talking defense, offensive line. Saints offensive line got pushed around by the Giants. They got pushed around by the Commanders in that game for the first quarter. And they got pushed around by Green Bay in the full game. 4 people start falling out of there due to injuries. Where was the toughness at? The intelligence? Where was the heart? Where was their spine? Where were their balls at? You know, no prideful team would have let nobody do them that, man. They just sit there and took it, and then went and took the direct deposit payment at the end of the game. They took it with pride. And we talking about, we got to bring some of these guys back. To hell with that. Every last one of these people on this offensive line need to be reevaluated, including McCoy, and especially Cesar Salad Ruiz, who had one good year, and the rest of the time he getting beat, pushed around, slow to the party, and everything that you can imagine. It's a first-round draft pick now. Sick of seeing that dude on tape. I'm sick of seeing Cesar Salad Ruiz on tape getting pushed around, man. I'm sick of seeing it. Like, here you go. He go 51. 51 in there. And then 70, you can make Penning is all he's too high and the guys push him back. But that's youth. He's not, learning the technique. But what's Cesar Ruiz's excuse? What's his excuse? You could say Penning didn't play, this is his first full year playing. Prior to this, he had 6 games of starting in 2 years. So you can say, okay, I can understand why his technique's so bad. But what's Ruiz's excuse for looking that bad? You can even give Lucas Patrick some grace by saying, man, listen, that dude ain't no real starter. It's a freaking backup, man. It's a backup ass lineman. Then you can understand why he looks like what he looks like. This guy ain't no starter. This guy is a guy you use every now and again when your true starter's out. He's a backup. He's not a starting level offensive lineman. And it's just shit ain't hard, bro. When you people do their jobs, man, things work out. But guys are not doing their jobs. They're not evaluating these guys, man. I'm doing more evaluating of these players than they are, and that's a damn shame. Boy, I could tell you, if I was ahead of that, man, a lot of them dudes wouldn't be there. I promise you that. It's just, man, I'm just not gonna let you steal money from us. All right. Anyway, L-Dub says, do they circle back to Eric Bieniemy? I don't know, bro. I don't know if I doubt that he even be interviewed for the next. He probably wouldn't even much want to go. Who want after talking to me for 8 hours and turn around and don't offer me the head coaching job? Why would I go back there? I wouldn't even want nothing to do with him. And Bieniemy, if he got pride, he wouldn't want nothing to do with the Saints after that. Jack says you can't complete a sustained winning with just undrafted. Yeah, I know, but that's what's happening, bro. And some of it's actually worked to a fault. Carl Granderson is the best defensive end you have. Carl Granderson. He was undrafted. They have guys on there, really good undrafted guys. JT Gray, who was a Pro Bowler. You're talking about Rashid Shaheed. He was undrafted and outplayed some of these other guys. He was playing almost at a level where Chris Olave was at one time. He was just out of position. They had Chris and they had Rashid like 1 and 2. When that's not the case, you need another guy there. Like Chris Olave's is a compliment for another big physical guy. Then you have Rashid in the slot to challenge the third guy. You can move him around however you see fit. But like I said, MVS would have worked if we had MVS at the start of the year off and you had MVS, then Chris Olave and then Rashid Shaheed in that order on the field, boy, you looking like something then. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, the undrafted guys are the guys that are kicking ass. Like I named, these are good guys, right? Even your starting tight end is a undrafted guy, Juwan Johnson, undrafted. Rashid, undrafted. JT Gray, undrafted. Both your kickers and your kicker and your punter, undrafted. You know, and then there are guys that fill out the roster underneath them that are undrafted guys that are having some contributions. They're contributing to what you got going on. So I mean, they hit on the undrafted game, but the drafted side of it, they've been struggling with that, man. It's just what it is. MSFS says Q sometimes like the Saints is nothing more than a doorman to the league. They're not drafting well, depending on drafted rookies, not developing players. That's what I'm saying. It's like we could talk about players, and we're going to talk about players. You know, in future streams, we're going to be doing the mock draft stuff, and we're going to do the draft breakdown of positions, quarterbacks, running backs. That's coming up. We're going to do that because we got to. But at the end of the day, I don't want to lose sight, and I'm just speaking to myself here. I don't want to, and I am not going to lose sight of the fact that change has to happen from the top of the organization, because that's what's wrong here. What's wrong with the Saints organization is the fact that the mentality of the team is all wrong. The organizational structure of the team is wrong too. You can't over rely on a old Mickey Loomis to make smart business decisions when he's not even a real general manager. He gets fleeced by other GMs because he's more VP than he is GM. He does not need to have that. And you've had young people that are very smart in the Saints organization that they had that should be the general manager. And it would not affect him one iota for him to keep that VP job and give somebody else that general manager job. The results is the proof is in the pudding. It's time for him to get off that job, man. So this is what we waiting on. Stuff have to happen at the top, and word on the street is supposed to be some shakeup going on up there. What it is, I don't know. But they said it's supposed to be some type of shakeups going on, and we just have to wait and see if it's real or if it's just some bullshit, if she gonna back down. Because I'm telling you, if they don't shake it up, man, you're not gonna get that money next year like you think you're gonna get. Just gonna let you know off the BAT. It ain't gonna work. All right, Gundam says keep bringing in them Dollar Tree store talent. Why do they still have Tipton wide receiver on this roster? Guys ineffective. And see, the thing is, Mason Tipton did well. They just went away from him and didn't go back to him. So you can't do that to young players. He's a young player that's trying to learn. You expect them to make errors and have issues and problems. It's just what it is. It happens. It happens, bro. Right? It happens. Hold on, fam, just a second. Give me just a second here. I'm checking out something. Yeah, but you can't have that. Hold on here, fam. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about when we look at all the stuff that's going on with the Saints right now. It's just a bunch of stuff that change needs to occur. Let's just put it like that. From the top of the level. And I've been saying that for some time now. Hold on. All right. Anyway, it's just yeah, Gundam. I just wanted to check on something, right? But yeah, this is very true. We've been having issues with this bullshit stuff the whole while. These coaches haven't been doing a good job because nobody's checking them. You can't turn guys loose and then not stay on their back. Like you have to make sure that there's a level of accountability. Like if guys are not doing their jobs, they have to have the fear of you pulling them from their jobs and giving it to somebody else. I don't have a problem with if the offensive play caller is not moving the offense and they're not gelling. I don't have no hesitations of pulling that guy, that coordinator, and going to the second guy in the pecking order and say, let's give you an opportunity to call some plays, see how they react to that. And then that guy, that coordinator, if he's a real coach, that guy shouldn't have a goddamn thing to say about that, being that if he was doing what he's supposed to, I wouldn't have to come up in there and make a change. You get what I'm getting at? That's accountable. You can't let guys screw up and just screw up the whole year. And then at the end of the year, they just create excuses for them so they can keep making money. And that's what this is about. The Saints been eating off of us for too long and not producing on the field, and it's enough of that. It's enough of that. And you ain't gonna keep selling hope every year. We gonna do this, that. Nah, man, that's over with, man. Especially with these other teams, they starting to figure it out and do it right, and you still up here lying and playing games and making excuses, man. No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna have Falcon people coming into our house talking bullshit about where y'all at now. And it's a Saint guy building them up there. They wasn't stupid enough to say, hey man, we gonna let that guy go. They went and got a Saint man to build a team up. And we still playing games with this old idiot here, man? No, absolutely not. Just like we ran Dennis Allen out here, we'll get you too, Playboy. You think you holding them power? Ain't nothing more powerful than the mighty dollar, and we holding the dollars. And we know we holding the dollars. They really hate that, man. They hate that. They hate that line of thinking because they can't play with you with that. You know your power, you know your stance. They really don't like that. Because if you different, you talking to a different person then if I can't just say some bullshit and make you move because you're a zealot. But if you somebody that's a support-based, intelligent, logical person, you got to come at me. You got to meet me on my level with that. And that's a tougher sell. Because you can't flim-flam me with the bullshit about this, that, and the third, and you got this idiot up here that I know ain't qualified enough to make any more decisions. You can't even stand up to question me. Hey, Mickey Loomis, I invite you to come up here, which he won't do. He got softball horse asking questions. And most of the time, he's not asking questions. He just saying bullshit, and Loomis just grabs on the back or whatever he's saying. Y'all running scams out here, Playboy. We ain't falling for that, man. You gonna do your jobs, or you gonna either shit or get off the pot, player. We're not playing with y'all on that. Y'all will produce. And that there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Y'all will produce. The era y'all eating off us on some F stuff is gone. That's over with. That's over with. And you blame your dumb ass self for it because you should have been handling your business from the get-go. Now we got to step in the door and fix this nonsense, man. And they got these people around here making millions of dollars and they're not doing their goddamn job. And now we got to step up to force these people to do their goddamn job. Man, you hear what I'm saying, man? We got to force these people to do their damn job now by pulling our money back and making them understand that we're not going for it. Now, you tell me how trash that is. And then they fighting us on doing better. That's how crazy this is. But you can't beat us. It's too many of us, and you need our money to make it, so you better listen. Man, it's over with for y'all guys, man. It's over. Let me get ready to ride up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for being in the stream. It's just what it is. Well, that's what we are right now. That's what we are right now as a support base. We're not no zealots anymore. We're not going for that. We intelligent, and you got to meet us on our level. You got to produce, or you're not getting the bread, bottom line. And we're going to stand on our square. We're going to be disciplined, and we're going to run you just like we ran, what's his face, Coach Possum out of here. Despite your two positions that you hold like you got power somewhere, you still couldn't stop your boy from getting put in the street. Who really holding the weight? Think about that. That chaps his ass to know that we did that. Good, because Mo is on the way. Just I'm warning you. I've been telling them. I told them we so good and thorough. We warned them before we even did that. They wouldn't listen. They would not listen. And now we got to chastise you. Now we got to check you. And we're going to check your stupid ass too. No doubt about it. Anyway, I'm going to get out on that. Listen, I appreciate all y'all for being in the building, man. Listen. Y'all do us a service. Please feel free to smash your point and like button if you hadn't had an opportunity to do it. Also, please feel free to check out our sponsors in the description section below to help the platform stay strong and spread a message, man. We ain't playing with you boys, man. We're not playing with you guys, man. You Pelican or you Saints people, we not playing with y'all, man. This is all trash and garbage, and you're going to fix it or you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer the consequences of us imposing economic boycotts, and we'll take you $3 or $4 billion, $6 whatever you think you work, we'll grind it to a halt. We will grind it to a halt. So with that being said, I'm gonna get out on that, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all hit the like button, hit the share button, and I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one, man. We'll be back Friday with the preview of the Saints and Raiders matchup. Much love. Who got to you, people?
Yeah. Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.